As the horse galloped across the vast expanse, covering 60 miles in a blur of hooves and dust, a young man stood at the finish line. His name? Benjamin. The crowd held its breath, anticipation thick in the air. The host's voice boomed through the arena, echoing off the stone walls. And the winner is Benjamin. The chase erupted, a tidal wave of sound that threatened to sweep him away. But Benjamin was no stranger to victory. He dismounted his horse, Joe, with practiced ease. Winning had become as routine as breathing for him. As he stepped onto the podium, the gold medal hanging from his neck, he maintained a carefully crafted smile. To the world, he was the triumphant hero, the embodiment of excellence. But deep down, he knew the truth. It was all a facade. The winning and closing ceremony unfolded like a well rehearsed play. Princess Paulina, the king's second daughter and fourth child, approached him. Her eyes sparkled admiration. Dear young man, she exclaimed, her voice carrying over the crowd, you did exceptionally well today. Benjamin's annoyance flickered briefly. Thank you, Your Highness, he replied, his tone curt. It was nothing. Paulina smiled flattered. Oh, please, she insisted, her gaze unwavering. You were so magnificent yesterday as well. He glanced toward her retreating figure as she walked back to her ornate cart. I need to look after my sister, Paulina said, her voice tinged with sadness. Benjamin interrupted. His curiosity piqued. He masked, already knowing the answer. Paulina's eyes welled up with tears. You can't, she whispered, her voice barely audible. Even I myself tried to talk to her, but she would never respond. She wiped her cheeks with the back of her hands. My parents never allowed me to talk to her. Benjamin's heart clenched. He knew who Paulina referred to, the mysterious girl locked away in the highest tower, the one with eyes like forgotten constellations and a voice that could shatter the moon. Can I see her? He asked, his resolve firm. Paulina hesitated, then shook her head. No, she said, her voice breaking. Even if you would, it wouldn't matter. She's beyond reach. As Paulina retreated into her luxurious cart, Benjamin called after her, Your Highness, I hope you are fine. His words held a promise, a secret vow to unravel the secrets of the tower and the girl who dwelled there. For Benjamin knew that sometimes winning a race was just the beginning of a far more earliest journey. Hey there! Yes, you! You are watching this video without subscribing.
You better subscribe for better marks.
Anyways, let's continue the video or story. At the royal palace of Meta, where the ancient stones whispered secrets and the air hummed with anticipation, the grand hall overflowed with warriors. Their armor gleamed, their swords rested at their sides, and their eyes held the scars of countless battles. Among them stood Benjamin Park, a name that echoed through the corridor like a battle cry. The announcer's voice boomed, reverberating off the marble walls. Benjamin Park, the top-tier warrior. The crowd parted, and Benjamin stepped forward, his footsteps silent as a shadow. His eyes met those of the king, who sat upon a throne adorned with rubies and gold. The king's gaze held both approval and scrutiny. a potent mix that could make or break a warrior's fate. Brave young man, the king began, his voice carrying to every corner of the hall. You did well during the match. The crowd leaned in, their breaths held. As a gift, the king continued, I offer you a role that few would dare accept. The prime knight of the black and white princess. Gasp rippled through the assembly. The black and white princess. A title whispered in a hushed tones. A legend entwined with tragedy. To be her protector with both an honor and a curse. For the princess was no ordinary maiden. She was a puzzle of contradictions, a riddle wrapped in a silk and secrets. Benjamin's mind raced. The king's offer hung in the air like a sword's edge. He glanced at the princess' portrait, the black veil obscuring half her face, the white gown flowing like moonlight. They said, held the power to unravel kingdoms or bind them forever. Without thinking twice, Benjamin stepped forward. Your Majesty, he said, his voice steady. That is a great gift, one I have received from a person like you. I gladly accept it. The king's surprise was palpable. His eyes winded, and for a moment, the mask of royalty slipped. Your generosity, he murmured, is rare. But as Benjamin turned away, the court erupted into whispers. Shasha, the king's first daughter and second child, stood at the edge of the dais, her eyes bore into Benjamin. Annoyance etched across her features. She knew the truth. The black and white princess was no mere title. She was a puzzle to be solved, a mystery to unravel. And Benjamin, with his acceptance, had unwittingly stepped into a web of fate spun by threads older than time itself. The grand hall echoed with the king's proclamation, the words resounding like a battle cry. Young man, he declared, his voice carrying the weight of centuries. You'll start from tomorrow. You don't need to bring anything from your side. Everything we will provide. Benjamin, clad in armor, bowed low, his heart raised. This was his moment, the culmination of years of training, sweat, and sacrifice. The king's pride swirled around him like a tempest, and Benjamin wondered if he was ready for what lay ahead. As the crowd dispersed, Benjamin gathered his belongings. His fellow warrior, Johnny, slid up to him, concern etching his features. Are you sure about this? Johnny asked, his eyes searching for Benjamin's. It's my way of proving myself, Benjamin replied, his resolve unwavering. I've trained for this, Johnny. I won't flutter. Johnny's gaze softened. Okay, he said, clapping Benjamin on the shoulder. And what are you going to do after proving yourself? Benjamin's eyes flickered. I don't know, he admitted. You see, next time I have to defeat Ethan and Nick. The names hung in the air, heavy with rivalry and history. Certainly, Johnny murmured, his voice tinged with both admiration and apprehension. Soon Benjamin stood before the chief counter. The ancient pots, relics of battles long past, gleamed in their shades. But it was the Black Knight outfit that caught his eye, and the sword, the very one Queen Merlin had worn, the legendary Queen of Meta. Her legacy woven unto every stitch, every seam. As Benjamin donned the armor, he felt the weight of destiny settle upon his shoulders. The sword, its blade edged with forgotten runs, hummed against his palm. He glanced at the portrait of Queen Merlin, The woman who had defied norms, shattered expectations, and carved her name into the annals of time. Tomorrow, he would ride into the unknown clad in the armor of the legends. The path ahead was treacherous, but Benjamin's resolve burned brighter than any star. For he knew that sometimes the greatest battles were fought not with steel, but with honor, courage, and the echoes of winds long gone. The chief counter's eyes widened as Benjamin's fingers brushed the hilt of his sword, the very spot that has once graced Queen Merlin's hand. "You are touching his sword after Queen Merlin," he breathed, his voice a reverent whisper. "You are so lucky." The sword lay there, its blade edged with ancient symbols, its metal humming with a hidden energy. Hello, guys. Yeah, I know. I appeared after 3 months. So, I am really, really sorry, guys, for uploading late. I was coping up with life. Hehe. So, yeah, enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe because if you subscribe, I'll upload next video soon. Bye bye. See ya next time. Bye bye. Bye.